SBS Finance Editor Ricardo Goncalves joins us now live from Sydney's business and finance hub, Sydney's Martin Place. Ricardo, business members have welcomed him, but do acknowledge that challenges lie ahead.
Anton, behind me is the Reserve Bank, and one thing that is in Mr Turnbull's favour is the low interest rate environment, but there are other key economic challenges: soft commodity prices, below trend economic growth and sagging business confidence. In Sydney's financial centre, some wanted actions, not words.
I think he really needs to prove himself, and I'm not crazy about the instability that creates.
But mostly they were cautiously optimistic.
He's got a good track record of supporting the business.
His track record speaks for itself in his own business dealings, for many years.
That track record includes work as an investment banker for more than 1 decade.
Investment bankers are very good at keeping their eyes on the deal and driving towards it. And I expect he's going to do the same thing.
International deal makers flock to cyberspace. Rupert Murdoch tweeted, "Sad to see such a decent man as Abbott toppled." Richard Branson congratulated the new Prime Minister, wishing him all the best. Economist Tim Harcourt says Mr Turnbull is well regarded offshore.
In China, they'd be troubled by the leadership changes all the time, but they would regard him highly. Japan would be used to it. The Brits will probably watch him pretty closely.
So I say to foreign investors, for the long term, Australia is a great place to invest. And this sort of political turbulence doesn't help, but it doesn't undermine the long-term strength of the Australian economy.
But in the short term, Malcolm Turnbull faces a number of economic challenges. One of them is to lift business confidence, which, according to NAB, is at its lowest level in more than 2 years. Joe Hockey sees the bright side.
Business confidence has always been in positive territory since we've been in government.
The Council of Small Business of Australia says Tony Abbott's last budget was the best small business ever had, but fears the new PM may focus on the big end of town.
He's going to make sure that the innovators in small business get to have their say and get to produce new things.
The Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry thinks small business won't be forgotten, but has other concerns.
Simply got to address the far too high level of unemployment, particularly youth unemployment in Australia at the moment.
Investors are pleased.
And it's very clear to markets that he understands business.
But shares fell following weak offshore leads and lower commodity prices. Yes, the Australian share market certainly took a bit of a beating today. Let's take a closer look at the numbers. By the close, the S&P ASX 200 fell about 1.5%. International worries certainly taking centre stage. The Australian dollar is a little bit firmer against the US. Now, investors are really taking a close look at the US Federal Reserve meeting. With the possibility of an interest rate rise, if that happens, there will be major implications for markets around the world and for currencies. We will find out on Friday.